In this video, we'll go through the top 6 penny stocks to buy now. We'll go through this information, the research I've got for you, and some of the information today. I'll get right into this without any further ado to respect your time. I've got to say I'm not a financial advisor. I am a business teacher in my daily life, but I'm by no means an expert on the stock market. So what I'm going to do today is to get through to these top 6 penny stocks and go right into the information here in this video. If you leave the video a like at some point, that'll also be fantastic. So the first one I've got today is called ADOM, where ticker symbol ADOM, and this is providing healthier air for all whilst reducing dependency on fossil fuels. And this is a 100% battery electric vehicle stock. Bear with me on this. I do think it's got a lot of potential. You've got to consider the price it's at. It's not necessarily the best electric vehicle stock out there, far from it, right? But you've got to bear that in correlation with the price. Is this a decent EV stock? Yes, potentially, based upon its current price point and where it could potentially run up to. That's what we got to bear in mind here with some of these penny stocks, okay? But this is one stock that I think is could move up, and it could move up quite a lot, okay? It could move up past $1 potentially. I actually think that. So we'll go into the information here. So in terms of the chart, what we at? So we're at 0.38. What I would say is if you can get this anywhere close to 0.3, it's a potential buying opportunity to then run that up to a decent level of profit, maybe over $1. Like I say, I think in the long term to medium term, it certainly could reach that. So it's got a lot of potential. I really do think that. I've had a look at some information, some promising information on their website in their investor relations. I may do an in-depth video on this one. This is just a top list, okay, so I don't want to go into too depth of every stock because it'll be a 50-minute video. But this one, certainly put on your watch list and start to potentially build a position. Remember, buy incrementally just over time so that you can really figure out what your average is going to be. But this is one of these EV stocks that I think is going to do quite well. And I'm going to go later on into this video a stock thought of the day, which might be really useful, so stay to the end of the video. But also I'm going to go through some EV information as well that is going to be quite useful overall. I've got a kind of thought where I think it might be going. The next one we've got here is Ameritech Ventures. Now, who are they? Ameritech Ventures is a leading company providing innovative technological solutions to companies and government agencies. Okay, so let's have a look at the stock price on this. So the stock price on this is 0.22. It's at this point here. Again, if you can get this anywhere below 0.20, I think this is a potential buying opportunity. It could move up. What I would say is look into this. I've had a lot of people saying to cover this stock, and I think that it has got a potential here. But again, moving on because this is just a top list. I'm going to say thank you for everybody who's subscribed to the channel. We're almost at 5,000 subscribers, so thank you for all the support on the channel. Anybody who's liking the video and subscribing to the channel, for anybody who's new. So thanks for all the support. Do like the video because it does help it get up into that YouTube algorithm, which helps the video out there and helps it get it up into the search results. Okay, moving on. The next one we've got is AITX. Okay, and they are a robotics company here, and they create innovative autonomous remote devices in terms of robots. And the approach will show you substantial savings on your security budget. So they create robots that is for the security industry essentially. So they create security specific robots and robotic solutions here for that industry, and there's a lot of total addressable market in this industry as well, so that's something to bear in mind. And I've covered this stock in depth in one of my previous videos. Check my channel if you're interested in that. The ticker symbol here is AITX and the name of the company is Artificial Intelligence Technology. It's at 0.028. What I would say is this has run up from I last covered it, but if you can get this at a cheaper price again on a dip, then this might be time to start building out a position on this. I would say this is a medium term hold because I do think it's got a potential to run up much more from where it is at 0.028 in the robotics industry. They've already got a good range of products, right? There's a lot of good things about this company. The next one to talk about here is Jaguar Health, and recently this has been skyrocketing because it's preparing for FDA approval in some of their drugs. Okay, so they receive a preclinical support from the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, and Jaguar Health is pushing its drug for wider use in patients. So this is one that's pushing for FDA approval, and because of that preparation, this stock has moved up quite a lot. I think it's going to dip a little bit soon, and then you may be able to buy in at just a slightly cheaper price for then it to ride up even further. It's got a lot of potential, right? And this FDA approval is a potential catalyst as well here that's just going to have a snowball effect on the potential stock price. It's sat at $3.09. I remember covering this when it was, I think it was around $1, $1.50. Can't quite remember, but it was a much cheaper than it is now. Okay, but so it has run up, but this is run up based upon the hype, based upon the news, based upon the value of the company, based upon what the company is offering and what it's trying to achieve, right? So, you know, you can't just look at the past and be like, oh, I wish I got in at this price. What I would say is you got to be patient with stocks. I think again this will dip, at which point you can get in on a price that's reasonable and then start to build out your position en route to that climb up to the $4-5 mark. And I think that it's got potential to do that as well. The next stock to talk about is IDEX, which is Ideanomics, involved in partly the EV industry as well. And this is at $2.88. I talked about this when it was at $2, around $2, $2.05. And this one's run up a bit as well. And it actually ran up to $3.50 almost on the 8th of January, right? So this is one of these stocks that's got a lot of potential to actually have that kind of spike and then consolidation, then spike. And this one is very volatile, this stock, but I think it's volatile in a good way because you can kind of predict what kind of base level you want to get into and then maybe set a price target in terms of selling out. This is one of these stocks that you can either get in and get out and take your profit or hold long term. What I would say is if you can get this anywhere close to the $2 range, low $2, I think that this is a buy. The fact that it's actually proven that it can get up to that level of $3.50 again has proven to me that my original target of it trying to get it at $1.80, $1.90 was maybe a little bit too much on the cheap side. That's what I said in my video. It was at $2.05. I was like, try get it at $1.70 to $1.90 if you can, right? And you know, it then shot up to $3.50. So anybody who got into the price just above $2, well done. But what I would say is, again, this is a stock that it's got that potential to fluctuate. And if you get in at the right price and the right entry point, you can ride the wave up again. So try do that. Look at this. Again, if it goes to the low $2, buy in, and then hopefully it'll pop up again at some point to past $3, on towards $4 to $5 as well, because I think the stock's got a lot of potential. The next one to cover is Orbital Energy, ticker symbol OEG. And this is involved in orbital gas, you've got orbital power and orbital solar. So this is a very diversified company in terms of it's got those three areas, right? And it's an energy company. There's going to be policies that are coming about which are more clean energy friendly, and that's going to just be an increasing industry as well. So again, this is a company that's got a good play in terms of a long-term potential, and this is a penny stock at the moment. Orbital Energy. So it's sat at $4.47. What I would say is, again, if you can start to really slowly, incrementally build up your position so you can build up your average, because this could dip, because it's run up so much or in a short space of time, and you don't want to buy at the high to then it dips. So I would buy incrementally and start to average in your position so it's at an average level as to where the stock price is moving, right? So try to do that. But I do think that this is one of these stocks that you should hold on for the longer term because it's got a lot of potential in that longer term, and you're really going to see the value there in terms of 5x in your money, potentially 4 to 5x on your money, because again, this has got a solid company base, solid company, solid levels of revenue that's going to continue to grow. A lot of really good, impressive projected revenue as well. So look into Orbital Energy Group. I really do quite like this company, OEG. By the way, like I say, I wouldn't buy it necessarily at its current price. I'd wait for the dip just a little bit and then average in your price and then see where to go from there. What I would say also here is consider your alternative EV plays. What do I mean by that? Well, I think that a lot of people got scared off by some of these alternative electric vehicle companies, and rightfully so, because they shot right up and then they had what we'll say is a massive correction, right? They did actually drop quite a lot, and I can understand why people are a bit more less hesitant to kind of invest in these. But what I would say is if the EV industry is growing, and if some of these larger EV companies are growing, I think that this just has a knock-on impact on the whole EV sector. And I think just naturally some of these companies could just grow from that. We're already seeing it with Candy. Okay, I said that it was at $7, one of my other videos. It's now at something like $8, above $8. Again, it could come back down, right? But we're starting to see that where I think some of these stocks may get up to their previous highs, okay, in the coming months. So I would start to consider building out a position on these stocks. Again, try to get them as cheap as you can, get them on a dip, and average your position in, okay? But I think in the months to come, these are going to be having that point where they will pop. And what you can do is set a price target when you want to sell. So you can get in, you can get out and wait for that kind of swing trade. But these ones, I feel that they're going to move up, they're going to pop based upon the EV sector itself, the growing sector, the fact that there's a lot of money in this sector, the fact that we are moving to electric vehicles, and I think that we've got to consider some of these alternative EV players as well here. And again, these are not penny stocks, I do realise that. It's just I wanted to put those thoughts in this video. And also my thought of the day is opportunity. So at times you'll have loads of different doors and you've got to choose which ones you want to get into. So don't worry about not actually getting into all the plays, right? We've done Zomedica, we're up 200% on that since I suggested it, maybe a bit more. Again, it may have come down, or you know, penny stocks, volatile, up 200%. We got up to nearly what 150, 800, 880% on TRXC, I believe it is, Transentrix. There's a few players that we've had that have gone up, but don't worry if you've missed out on some of these because there is always more opportunities, okay? And don't go chasing ones that are already up massively. You got to be thinking, okay, if you are chasing ones that are up massively, do you see long-term potential in them? Because that way you don't sell at a loss, right? Because you can hold them even if they do dip a little bit, and then for the long run up in the long term, right? But what I would say is you've got to pick the opportunities, right? And there's always opportunities in the stock market. So you choose what you feel based upon your research is the right opportunities, okay? So that's the end of this video for today. Do leave the video a like if this was somewhat interesting or helpful in any way. Really does help out the channel, get it up into the YouTube algorithm. And if you're new to the channel, also subscribe. And it's post stock market videos. It's just a short video for today, one video. I've been incredibly busy teaching. So thanks for watching the video, and I'll see everybody in the next one.